Warning: this program may contain explicit language that may be considered offensive or inappropriate to children and some adults.
The following content is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello, and welcome to segment 2 of our 24-hour live stream fundraising event for Woe Nelly Media's very first ever self-produced project called Flirting with Destiny. If you've been with us for the last hour, you just saw the video, which is just a little behind-the-scenes look with me, the cast, and the crew of the project. But right now, if you're just joining us, you can head over to GoFundMe.com at any point in time, and you can either share the stream so that we can get the word out about the project, or you can donate a little money. Any little bit counts. All of it's going to go toward a great cause of artists supporting other artists and being self-produced. But right now, I'm so honored to be here with Matt Schneider. Schneids, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm good.
I'm good too. Now, I'm so glad that Matt is here because I was like, how am I going to fill out this second section because it's so early in the day. He was like, oh, I'll definitely do it. And I was like, what do you want to do? He's like, I'll lead a sketching tutorial. And I was like, that sounds awesome. So he's basically going to lead us through some sketches. We're going to do comic book sketches. I hope that some of you all are at home and you're following along because it's interactive. If you have questions, comments, please leave them with us in the comments. And, we'll definitely add them to the stream. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Des.
Destiny, hey. Basically, and also, yes, thank you. It is my birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Hey, happy
that.
birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is the dopest way to spend my birthday. So, yes, once again, the link is down at the bottom. GoFundMe.com/F/FlirtingWDestiny. Go over there, hook us up, share the stream. But now, without any further to do, I want to go ahead and hand things over to Matt.
Hello. All right. So I'm going to be kind of sketching a little bit, kind of showing you guys some of what I do, how I measure things out. What I'm going to talk a lot about is how to measure the proportions of a face and make sure that's accurate. And then I thought it'd be really fun to do something where we can kind of really warp the way that works. And the Joker is a great character for that. So I was going to do a big Joker at the end too. I do kind of, when I'm drawing, I kind of tend to zone out. So I may not be looking at the camera. If there's some questions or anything, Duryea, let me know. Okay.
I sure will. Yep.
So, okay. So basically drawing ahead, there's lots of different ways that you can do it. And I'll just kind of show you guys what I do. Mine's kind of an amalgam of some different ways that I've learned over the years. But first of all, I always kind of look for what's going to be this, roughly going to be the center. So I kind of make like a little cross shape where I want the head to be. And then it's going to be kind of egg shaped. So it's going to be a little smaller on the bottom, width-wise, a little bigger on the top. Okay. And let me go to a darker pencil. This will be really, really kind of rough looking, but I want you guys to be able to see this a little bit better. So does that show up better? Okay. Oh.
Let me see. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's good. We can see that.
Okay. So I knocked my camera over. Give me 1 second to get that readjusted. Okay.
Perfect.
So first I look for that center, kind of try to find the center. So I go with like a cross shape like that. And then the actual head itself is going to be kind of egg shaped. So it's not really a circle because it's a little narrower on the bottom than it is on the top. But first of all, what you want to do, let's measure this. What we want to do is we want this to be as close to equal halves as possible. So we're actually going to move this line over a little bit. Oh, my eraser popped out of here. That may be an issue. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So big thing when you're looking at somebody's face, the face is actually, it's completely symmetrical. It seems off because of the hairline, but your eyes are actually right in the very middle of your head. So if you go from the top of your head down to your chin, your eyes fall right in the very, very center of that. Okay. And a couple of different ways we can kind of check that to make sure that's accurate is if you take your pencil and put the tip of it and then put the tip of it at the top of the head and your finger right along the line, slide it down and make sure that lines up. Okay. So this is going to be the top of the head, the bottom of the head. The next big thing that we want to look at is the eyes, and the eyes are really going to kind of set everything. And how do you figure out how big your eyes are going to be? Okay. This is kind of a trick. Okay. So your head, if you're looking straight on at it, however big your eyes are, however big your head is, it doesn't matter. Your head is 5 eyes wide. You have exactly, if you take, if you take your pencil and you measure to the tip of your eye, you have the exact same distance between both of your eyes. So your eyes are obviously going to be like, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to be in the 2 and 4 spot. And we got kind of these leaf shapes for the eyes. And we'll get into adding some more detail to that. Okay. Now, just a little bit above that, you're going to have your brow line. So we're just going to kind of do a little swoop in like this. Okay. Now we want to find the center. So what we want to do is we want to figure out where your nose should fall, right? So what we want to do is we want to find the halfway distance from here to here. So the eyes fall at the halfway distance from the top to bottom. Your nose is going to fall at the halfway distance from your chin to your brow. Okay. So kind of measure that out. I'm going to say right about there. That looks about halfway. It's a little off. Okay. Now, there's some variation on this too. Obviously, you know, depending on the ethnicity, Asian people tend to have very narrow noses. African American noses tend to be a little bit wider, but for the most part, and there's some variation from person to person too, but for the most part, the tips of your nostrils line up with your tear ducts. So you can just actually draw a straight line down here, and this is going to be right where your nose falls. Okay. So again, same way we cut dimensions in half before, we want to do that again to figure out where the bottom lip is going to be. So we look at where this line is, down to this line. We want to go right in the middle of that. That's going to be your lower lip. Okay. So the upper lip, it's kind of take this shape and do it in both directions. It's kind of a little, I don't even know what you would call that, but kind of a swoop shape. And your lower lip comes down like this. Okay. So for the most part, you just kind of measured everything out on the head, right? From there, you can kind of start to fill in kind of some of the details, like your ears. You know, different people have different size ears, different shapes, everything like that. But it's going to go from the distance of your nose to your brow line. And now another thing, looking at this, I want to mention, this looks really, really big off to the side. You do have to remember that you have like hair that comes down the side too. So this is going to look a little bit different once you start adding in hair. Let's add the other ear over here. Okay. Okay. Now this is also a technique. especially when you're drawing comic book characters. This is going to help a lot. And this will kind of make sense here in a second. But this is called finding the mask. Okay. And it's kind of, there's an indistinct point where your head turns into your face. You know what I mean? It's not like there's a distinct line where your face starts, but you do kind of have like a little bit along your temple, a little bit of a ridge, a little bit of a ridge. And then if you follow with your finger, like down along your cheekbones, kind of comes like this. You got a little meaty portion around your mouth, down around your chin too. Okay. So this kind of tells you the difference from the face to the head.
That's
okay.
Awesome.
We're going to start to add in some hair. Let's give this guy some sideburns. So you see the way this starts to fill in some of that fifth area. And we're going to go up about halfway. We're going to bring this in a little bit. Okay. What kind of hairline? Let's give him a hairline straight across. Just give him a simple buzz cut. I'm going to fill this in a little bit. Okay. So let's kind of make this make a little bit more sense. So we'll give him some eyebrows. And they're kind of just this little swoosh shape. Okay. Kind of give him a little bit of an eyelid. So we have an iris. And then what I like to do with the pupil, eyes are very, very reflective. So they pick up a lot of light. So very rarely do I draw like a full circle for the pupil. Most of the time you'll see, I'll kind of pick a direction that, like, I'll do this one from a different direction. Let's say there's a light source that's like right here. Like the overhead light is right here. It's going to create a big old light spot on his eye. So I'll draw like a little half C shape instead. That's probably kind of hard to see from there, isn't it? That's okay. You'll be able to see that a little bit better when we get a little bit closer. Now, of course, your nose isn't like a big old box shape like this. Let's draw a little circle at the tip. We're going to bring the tip, not a circle, more of an oval. We're going to bring that down below that line a little bit. And we're just going to kind of curve up along the line of that box. It's going to give us a nostril. We're going to go around the outside, up and in. Around the outside, up and in. Now your cheeks kind of come here. Give a little bit more detail to the mouth. Okay. And now with the lips, there's actually on the upper lip, there's 3 separate muscles. So in the very middle, you have this muscle that's shaped like this. And then you have 2 other muscles that come off that are shaped like this. So you do have a little bit that kind of sticks down below a little bit on your lower or on your upper lip. The lower lip is actually just 2 big oval muscles, and then the tissue that connects those. So that's really as simple as lips are. Kind of give a little smile around here. Give them a little, I forget what this is called. But humans are the only animals that had that little shape thing on them, on their face. Okay, so kind of back to this, what we're doing here. Let's just fill this in, just because it's going to drive me nuts being like that. And you'll notice I'm going to come up a little bit higher above where we drew it. And that's because, so that the tip of that circle would be more like the scalp line. And your hair is going to come up above that. Okay. We'll give some kind of detail to the ears. We're going to draw a lobe. This part comes out. We got the ear canal. Okay. And then now the jawline. Okay. Let me turn towards the camera here. Okay. So you'll notice on most people, the curve of their jaw lines up for the most part with their lip. There's, again, some variation of that, but right around the point of the lip, we're going to take that hard turn. And then the chin, different shapes of chin depending on the person. I'm just going to kind of give them a little bit of butt chin. Why not? Okay.
This is amazing.
Okay. We'll just fill in this ear real quick. Okay. The neck. Okay. So with your neck, looking at the front of it, there's two big, like worm-like, slug-like muscles that come down and connect right to your collarbone right here. So one goes here, and you can actually follow it up, and it actually connects right behind your ear. Okay. And this is the muscle that, like, when you turn your head, this is where you get the popping. Okay. So like when you turn your head this way, you can feel how tight this side is. Okay. So, but this is going to be what we're doing right now. It's just a very relaxed pose. So we're just going to kind of take a little slug-like shape. And we're going to curve out from that. We also have an Adam's apple, which is just kind of like a boxy type of thing on men. I'll give a little definition of this muscle. Okay. But that's kind of a very quick, very rough how to draw a face and how to understand the proportions. Let me grab a marker and kind of show you what I did here. Hang on a second. Oh, where's my big Sharpie? Big Sharpie, where'd you go? All right. So if we take the total height, split that in half, that's where the eyes are, right? Okay. We're going to take this dimension. We're going to split that in half, and that's right where the nose is, right? No, actually, I'm sorry. From the brow line, we're going to go from here to here is half. So 1/2 to 1/2. Okay. We're going to go 1/2.
Somebody in the comments says sternocleidomastoid. What is that?
I
Is
don't
that
know
this
what that
thing that
means.
you're talking about? Please tell us what part that is in response to. And then
That's a
said,
muscle, but I don't know what it's called.
It's the neck muscles.
Ah, yes. Okay.
And then
I
Destiny
know.
says the philtrum or Cupid's bow. I guess that's.
Oh,
this
that's
part.
what this is right here. Yep.
Yeah. This
I
part. I got you.
I know anatomy very well and like how all the muscles fit together and work, but I have no idea what any of them are called. So I'll do a lot of like this thing connects to this part right here, and it like tucks into this thing.
Make it work.
So just like wrap this guy around that guy, and you're good. But yeah, so we got 1/2 and 1/2. Oh, and then the last dimension is from that nose line and the chin line. We go 1/2. Is how you figure out where your lip is at. And your ear, and this guy's ear is actually too small. His ear should come down like this. This side is okay. But your ear goes, well, no, I kind of curved that line a little bit. So that's not as bad as it looked at first. So there we go. So yeah, your ear will actually go from your brow line down all the way down here, all the way down to your nose line. So in general, that's how you draw a face. Now, I don't really have room for it on here. I didn't really think about this. But the other thing is the way that you can tell how big somebody is or how wide they should be. So we're going to go, we'll call it 8 inches. This shoulder would be 8 inches over here. from the center line. This shoulder would be 8 inches over here from this center line. Of course, there's some variation on that depending on like muscle mass and everything. But yeah, people are, let me kind of show you. People are very, very symmetrical. Sometime I'll get into one and like do like a whole figure on it too. But the other thing with this, like this is a very stiff and rigid drawing. And typically this is not how I would draw. I really kind of wanted to break down and show you guys the shapes and how the different parts fit together. Once you really kind of know and understand these dimensions and kind of learn to kind of eyeball them, you can really kind of start learning to draw much more phonetically, and kind of winging it as you go. And that's where you get into getting a lot of like really fun, cool stuff. So,
see, the part for me that was really eye-opening about watching that is the finding your mask part. Mm-hmm. Because when I draw, like I draw by sight a lot, which is great because this is not at all by sight. This is literally just, you know, by I won't say imagination, but that mask part immediately gave like definition to the immediately. As soon as you did it, you saw like the angles in the face, the jawline, and I can see from there. Then it's just a bunch of like erasing, shading, fading, all that stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, and especially like with comic book characters, where did I put my pencil? Like comic book characters, cheekbones, you see a lot with like cross hatching along the cheekbones to highlight that. You see a lot of cross hatching.
What is cross hatching?
Cross hatching is like how you add. So like if I was to shade something that was going to be reprinted, I wouldn't want to like color it with the side of my pencil. Instead, what I want to do is draw individual lines, and really I should make them curve along the curvature of the head. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do like a cross pattern.
What that makes it easier for, you said, reprinting?
Yeah. For like, it's easier to duplicate something like that. And honestly, I think it looks cooler, but I grew up on comic books.
Right.
But see the way that kind of gives a shaded effect without really filling all of that in?
Yeah.
Whereas where this, so like on this side, this is like colored. Oh, no. This side is colored with the side of the pencil, where this side is colored with crossing lines.
Okay.
And it just kind of gives a little bit of a different effect.
Dope.
Yeah. But you want to get in and kind of like start playing some. Let's do the Joker. Okay. The reason the Joker is one of my favorite characters to draw is because it's such an iconic design. You can do like so many people have done so many different versions of the Joker, and you see it and you always know and understand it's the Joker. And that's due to the strength of the design. So you can almost always do something different almost every time that you do it and always have fun. When I'm drawing something like this, I think less about like the shape of things and like the dimensions of things, because I've just, those things just kind of make more sense to me, because I've been doing this for so long. What I try to think more about is like the feeling that goes along with it. So like with the Joker, I'm thinking like crazy, and the eyebrows are very expressive. So I'm going to kind of start to sketch in the eyebrows, and I'm going to make them huge. Big old V shape. We're going to have an overdrawn nose. This nose is going to be way bigger than it probably should be. Shouldn't really be humanly possible. I'm put an eye to measure, and I still do the eye in the middle. Almost always when I draw, I always draw out that middle eye. I have a tendency to bring eyes too close together. And when I'm just kind of drawing, that's just kind of what I do. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. That ain't what I wanted. All right. So, so what we got here, we got an eyebrow. We got the other eyebrow. We got an eye. We got the nose. He's going to have ridiculous cheeks. Let's give him his other cheek. We're going to kind of bring this down a little bit. We're going to make this smile something wicked. We're going to go like this. We're going to give him super oversized pointed chin. Come up here. His ear. Where is his ear?
That's epic. In 5 seconds, I already see the face.
Here's his
so
ear.
Do you always start with this like really faint?
Yeah.
The face when it's comic books. Okay.
Yeah. Almost everything that I draw. Actually, I use a blue pencil a lot too. So,
Blue?
Because so there's certain shades of blue that don't show on scanners. So like for the really, like if I was going to copy this and have this be like, here, let me show you like a finished page with finished pencils. So like this page, if I can get my phone out of here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I lost you. Hang on.
We'll get it back.
Oh. All right, here we go.
Prepare for this sound to assault everyone's ears.
No, I'm going to keep it muted. Should be good.
Okay.
All right. So like this guy here, there's no sketch lines on this page at all. So like that one, if you're having somebody else do the finishes and the inks, you don't want to have like any kind of confusion on where you want a line to be. So you want nothing but your finished pencils. So like if I was doing something to be published, I would start my sketching with a blue pencil, but that's also not going to show very well on the camera at all.
Okay. We can still see it though. I definitely see it. Like I can see all the I see the eyes. When you started with the eyebrows, I was like, huh? But then as you went, I was like, ah.
All right. And then we'll start. Let me get the good angle back. Oop. I don't know what just happened there. Sorry.
I think you know how there he is. There you go. Move it to the, yep.
There
right
we go.
there.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. I'll give him his teeth. Okay. Let me figure this out. I kind of lost my flow a little bit. Okay. His sideburns are going to be like this. Going to be his hairline. This is way too big. We're going to go down a little bit here. Okay. Kind of the underside of his hair. You know what? We'll kind of have his hair whip over this way, like he's turning around real quick. He's saying, boo. Okay. We got the back of his head, his neck. We're going to give him like a suit collar or whatever. Okay. So this is kind of our very, very rough. And I'm not going to do super finished pencils. I'm going to kind of go into inking this fairly quickly. But this kind of tells me where everything's going to be on the page, not necessarily what the finished product's going to look like. But what time is it? Let's start playing. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I switched over to the darker pencil so that you guys could see better. Okay.
They're talking about the fear clowns in the comments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Clowns are creepy.
I think
maybe that's one.
Colrophobia is what it's called.
Maybe that's one of the reasons I like the Joker as a villain so much.
I
Just
mean, there's
clowns in
definitely.
general.
I think Pennywise takes the cake though, for real. When it
Yeah,
comes
for
to
sure.
like, man,
Oh,
just straight up eating children. What?
that's for you.
What's for me?
Yeah. Here. Maybe you didn't see it.
Oh snap! That's dope though.
All right. So, one thing with the Joker, and I don't know
He
why.
dresses like a clown. They say Pennywise isn't a clown. He dresses like a clown, or he pretends to be a clown. So
That's
nothing.
fair. He's some kind of intergalactic
Right.
monster.
Spoiler
That's
alert.
yeah. One thing with that I like too. Usually with men, the eyelashes I draw them in much lighter, and I don't know why, but for some reason it works really well with this character to have like really thick, weird eyelashes. So
Okay.
just kind of a weird side note. Now we have the eye socket, the orbital eye socket here, and then we're going to kind of make that come up to the what do you call it? The eyelid. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get some kind of energy back over here. Make these smile lines just crazy. I'm gonna start to fill this in. Okay, so I'm gonna have him smiling so big, like his cheek is pushed up into his eye. So I'm kind of thinking you don't want to see that eyelid, except for on this side. That may not turn out right once I get going, but we'll see. Okay, let's make him be angry. Let's give him some good old angry lines around that nose. We're gonna kind of give him some brow creases. Make this eyebrow come up and super bushy. Eyelashes again. And then I like the Joker with like super impossibly tiny irises and like extremely dilated pupils. It just makes him creep show. Okay. Okay. And I haven't really thought a ton about this. Let's go light coming. Okay. So we're going to make the light. Can you see this in that corner at all? I'll try to fill this in a little bit. So I don't know. Can you see that at all, Durga?
I see. I'm not sure
Okay.
what you're doing, but I see what you're doing.
So I'm drawing like a little arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want it to do, I want it to look three-dimensional. I don't know if you can really see it at all, but this is the light source is back behind his head here. So it's going to be shining forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to want to kind of take that into consideration as I'm doing things. I'm going to want to use like thicker lines on this side. It's going to give the impression. Let me show you. That's a 3.5. Let me go bigger. Okay. So this is called like line density.
Okay.
And so just going to do a quick face, like outline of a jaw, maybe, if this marker would work. Okay. So now, as simple as making this line thicker and taper along in here, you can gives the impression of a shadow. So it appears there's light bouncing off of this side, and this side you don't have that effect at all. So just simply by making the lines bigger on the opposite side of where the light's coming, that gives it a lot of depth already. Let me put these back in the right spots. Okay. All right. So now a big thing too, like I want anger to come across here more than anything else, like a crazy, crazy anger. So I really want to give, like, I probably normally wouldn't get into this much detail around the bridge of the nose and like the creases of the brow. But to me, that just heightens that angry, crazy look. Mm-hmm. So I like it. That's a lot of what drawing is. It's just kind of finding stuff that you like as you're doing it. Like we're going to give some shadow along this edge of this nose. That's too round. We want that to be, I think a harder edge will look more angry. Okay. Really going to make this cheek pop. He's going to get into like these weird little crinklies of his smile. And then this side. So this side is where the shadow is. So this is, I'm going to go really deep with the cross hatching on this side. On this side, I don't so much want to illustrate the bulb of his cheek, but more the flesh that's pulled back from it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get into giving this guy some spit polish. This is my 0.35, 25. Cannot find my right marker. Hang on. If I was more organized, this would be less of a problem.
Do you, man? You're awesome. This is so dope.
Okay, here we go. And actually, okay, so this is a kneadable eraser. This is quite a bit darker than I would normally do sketched pencils because I want it to show as much as possible. But what a kneadable eraser is it's very good for just picking up loose graphite. So basically, it's going to lighten it up, and it's almost infinitely usable. So it's just this ball of putty, and it's kind of, I see some graphite in it. So if I just work it around for a while until I find a clean edge, and then I'll just kind of dab at this a little bit. Okay. So see, nice clean gray edge. Where's my camera? Yay. Okay. So I don't want to really like use your typical eraser strokes because I don't want to smudge my lines. So that's why I want to dab at it.
Can you bring the bring that closer so we can see what that did?
Yeah. You're gonna have to tell me if you can really see it at all. All it really does is kind of lighten it up a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of going in, making this a little bit lighter is all.
Dope.
Okay. So like this is actually much darker than I would typically draw with pencil.
You're just doing this so that we can see it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Okay. And I love micron pens.
Micron pens are what you're using right now?
Yeah, it's like a tech pen. But I love these things. It's very No, they don't erase.
Okay.
I do not have the steadiest hand in the world. So I'm not very good with a brush.
Okay.
So with inks, pens don't really work very well for inks at all. This is one of the few that gives you a very smooth, even stroke. It's much more brush-like, without having to worry about the actual tips of the brush. So I like these a lot.
Gotcha.
The other thing that you want to be real careful with these, and with really any kind of marker or pen, when you press them against this, well, you guys won't be able to see this, I don't think, but when you press it against a surface, the ink flows from it and it creates a dot and spreads outward from the point of the pen. Okay, so if you draw a line by pushing down on it and then drawing your line, it's almost like a tadpole. You get like a little dot and then your line tapers out from there. What I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to, where I want the drawing to be is like mid-stroke. So I'm off the paper, on the paper, off the paper.
Mm-hmm.
So like that. So that creates a much more even stroke. Okay. And the eyes, we're going to kind of, and then we're going to do this like half C shape here. Okay. And then here we're going to go in, and I think I'm going to change the direction of the shading a little bit. I think I'm going to go this way instead. I don't know if I like that, but it'll do. Okay. Okay. Now the other thing that I want to do here, and we'll see if I can make this look right. I don't know if I can or not. I want him to be, his eyes to be like super bloodshot. Like almost to the point where it looks like there's like cracks in the lobe of his, or the orb of his eyes. We're gonna give him a little shadow along his eye there too. And I'm not in the way, am I? Okay. I have a tendency, like when I'm drawing, like I get like all hunched up in front of it. I need to just sit back and relax. I draw much better when I'm relaxed.
That actually reminds me, everybody who's watching, thank you. Make sure you're taking a water break, especially if you're with us all day. Make sure you're getting some water. Make sure you're eating, and make sure you're checking your posture. Posture check.
Yeah, I'm going to need that here in a second.
Also, remember, head over to GoFundMe, GoFundMe.com/flirting with Destiny. I'm sorry, GoFundMe.com/F/flirting with Destiny. You can watch our video there. You can find out a little bit about the project, the cast and crew involved, and you can donate. Or if you can donate, we would definitely appreciate your support by just sharing the link. We're just making it. It's live today. So today is the fundraiser. Our goal for today is $1,000. Long-term goal is $5,000. So help us reach those goals today. We love you guys. And yeah, just a quick reminder. Posture check.
Tell us a little bit more about the project, man. What's it all about?
Okay, so Flirting with Destiny, I came up with because a friend of mine had a date. And she's like, she's dating. She went on a blind date with this dude. And not only did he not know the difference between like heterosexual and metrosexual and homosexual, but then he gets pulled over and he's in a BMW, which is impressive. And she's kind of high maintenance, so she likes that he's in a BMW. But when he gets pulled over, dude doesn't have insurance. So they tow his car, and then he asks her for a ride home, but instead she just leaves him there. So yeah, my friend is ruthless like that. And so I was like, it just sounded to me like a sitcom. But I like magic a lot and like comic book geeky stuff, and I really like creating. I like creating these worlds because I grew up on all this stuff, and especially it's a show that features people of color, so it's dope because we don't really see shows with centering around them of that sort. So I'm going to give away what the magic is, but basically with all these things going on in her life, eventually her aunt gives her this gift, and the gift basically makes people react to her in a certain way. And she doesn't know, she doesn't find out what happens until the second episode. But in the first episode, we know what happens as the audience. So it's one of those. And the series is supposed to go along. It's her and her three best friends, and they respond to this change in her life. And everybody's different. Like her best friend they all have different relationships. So it's kind of like Sex in the City, but also with a little bit of like, I don't want to say insecure, but it's got a little bit insecure and then a little bit of a magical twist. It's really funny. It's really dope. And it's just our first project. We've actually discussed doing multiple projects. I teamed up with a friend of mine who's graduating from grad school in writing. We've got a director already lined up. We've got a director of photography, and we've got 3 cast members. So the money that we're going to compile will hopefully go to, the important things first, like getting sound and light and equipment so that I'm a stickler about things looking like nice and polished and professional. And then, of course, we also want to make sure that the cast and crew are fed while they're on set, because there'll be some long days and long nights. We're going to need to rent equipment. We're going to need to rent locations. There's only a few locations, but it'll still, these things cost.
Oh, adds up, sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, if we can, I would really like to compensate all the people. Everyone right now, we're doing it just, as a project that we want to do, we're passionate about. But it would be dope if we could leave with a little bit of change in our pocket. So that's the idea. And, and this is, the Woe Nelly Media only started last year. And, the whole goal of the company is to take a bunch of people with multiple talents and give us an avenue to where we can create the art that we want to see. Not saying that we don't believe someone else will want to create our art, but a lot of times you sit around waiting for somebody to make your dreams come true, and you can just kind of do it yourself.
When you could just get off your butt and do it, yeah.
And do it.
Yeah, right on.
So essentially, that's what we're doing, and I'm super excited. The team we got assembled is really awesome. And
cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Right on.
As hell.
Oh, I just screwed that up.
I forgot to mention, we added a third writer to the writing team as well. And so I wrote episode 1, Liz is writing episode 2, and then Liz Shad, who's actually doing the hour after this, she wrote episode 2, and then Megan Cowgill, who is going to do a cooking segment later in the day, she's going to write episode 3 once we get episode 2 written. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like beyond stoked. So. I wish I really want to tell like everybody like this is what happens, but I don't want to like
But you don't want to spoil it. Yeah, you got to like find that line, man.
You have to watch it because I mean the magic's dope to me, especially because it's the way it's introduced is different. I haven't really seen this angle produced edit in when it comes to magic and everything, and the characters are so funny. They're so unique, and they're based off of people that I know. so they're grounded in that
Okay.
reality. But I just made them kind of larger than life.
Okay, right on.
So
So a
playing a
little
video throughout. Sorry,
a
go
little
ahead.
truth to it then, based on people you know and all.
Yeah, I just took the things that I thought were funny about them and just kind of like made them bigger.
Are any of them going to be really angry when they see it?
All the people who I based characters off of, they've already read the script.
Okay.
And they all really like the script. So I don't think they're going to be angry, no.
So no major uprisings over it.
No. I was honest. And luckily, like they could see the humor in it. And I'm really blessed. I can't believe that I found enough people to fill 24 hours of time. I'm just super blessed by everything that's happening right now. I'm like,
that is when you think about it, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Sitting here
that is
watching you do
impressive.
this. Yeah, I'm like, man, what's dope about it is that all the content that we have lined up for today is actually stuff that I think is like super interesting.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, let's get this. Let's start filling in this eye. Let's give him some eyelashes. Excuse me. Okay, let's go back into the brow. Let's give him some energy here. So, in like a lot of this stuff, like especially at this point, these are things that I didn't even necessarily plan to draw, and they just kind of like pop out at me as I'm going. Mm-hmm. So, like just these random sketch lines work very well for some detail for the temple. So like when you hear somebody say like just kind of finding the sketch as you go, that's sort of what they mean. And like I don't even really remember what I was planning on doing with the hair here. We'll figure it out.
Right, I was like, so just I'm curious to see what you do with it though. He definitely looks deranged. I love that.
Yeah, make it all going off this way. And not the best choice I could have made, but that's okay. I want to do something a little different. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I think we're going to need to thicken this up quite a bit in order for this to work. Otherwise, I'm going to spend a month on this.
Also, thank you to Destiny for all these awesome Joker facts that we've been posting up.
Oh, give me some of them.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, so I'll read.
No, yeah, I've been kind of zoning out, man. Sorry.
Joker facts. His smile was inspired by a silent movie. The 1928 film is called The Man Who Laughs.
Yep. Killer, Des.
There's a bunch of them. There is another one. Joker facts. He's immune to fear toxin and other drugs.
I did not know that one.
And he's the dark mirror of Batman. I really want to discuss that. How is he the dark mirror of Batman? He's literally anarchy in a bottle.
Yeah, and Batman is order, control. So
but why is anarchy seen as dark?
Well, his take on it certainly is. That's hard to argue.
I will agree with that, but I don't feel like anarchy or is innately dark and order is innately light.
No.
But I do think that they're meant to be mirrors, of course. Another Joker fact, he's a supervillain created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson. It took 3 people to come up with the concept for this dope-ass villain.
Joker's a great character. When he's done right, he's done so silly sometimes.
Right.
I tell you what, Mark Hamill is the best Joker.
Yeah, he did very well at it. I think my favorite live act, I really did like Joaquin Phoenix. Was that the one who did it last?
Yeah.
I liked it. I just thought it was I liked the whole take on it. I really enjoyed that movie. It was a really good movie. It was a lot better. I'm kind of tired of Batman and Joker stuff being done, but I really thought that was a great take on it. Another Joker fact. The Joker first appeared in the debut issue of the comic book Batman, published by DC Comics on April 25th, 1940.
That one I did not know.
Like Clockwork says, who is this brilliant lady with all this knowledge taking us all to school? That is Destiny. Destiny is going to be on the stream today. She's going to be part of an LGBTQIA plus panel where we're going to sit down. It's going to be members of the community, and we're just going to talk about our experiences as members of the community. We're taking a joyful take at it. So often in the community, we hear all these horrible things, and we just want to bring some light to what it is to come to self-acceptance and love. And it's our idea. So come back later at 7 o'clock today for that stream.
Is that AM?
No, 7 o'clock AM. We're doing a power hour radio station, a radio takeover. Yeah. Another fact. Sorry. Unlike other villains, the Joker possesses no superhuman abilities. Which means none of Batman's, not none, but a lot of Batman's villains aren't superhuman.
Batman's got a great rogues gallery.
Batman has the best villains, if you ask me, hands down.
Him and the Flash is up there too.
I don't get into the Flash, but everyone tells me I should.
Oh yeah. The Flash has some fun stuff. I do not like what I did with his hair at all.
I do.
Okay.
I actually do, because he looks kind of like you said, like he's whipping around. I see the whipping. He kind of looks like crazed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not a total fail then.
It's crazy because I was sitting here like, oh, I like that.
Okay, cool.
I really like up here at the top where you see the hair. You didn't really define the part.
Here.
That part, I like that.
Yeah, we're going to have to fill some of this in too, a little more. How do I want it to go around the ears is going to be the big question. I went quite a bit longer than I first intended to.
So sorry. Don't know why that happened like that.
Let's get in here and define this color. Okay, so we're going to have the lights coming this way. So we're going to want to add some shading along here. We don't want all this to be in shadow, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, how are we doing time-wise?
We have
cool.
about 18 minutes.
All right, so I'll go in and I'll start kind of finishing this up. Let me find my bigger brush. Cool.
Exactly. They were talking about like Clockwork says, the classic villains, they didn't have super. That's the one thing that was interesting. They were just, criminals who had quirks. That's what we'll say.
Yeah. Joker's just a great character. He's so much fun. And I love the way you can have, there's so many different versions of the Joker and they're so dissimilar to each other. Even reading through the comics through different eras or different writers' takes, different artists' takes. Mm-hmm. It's just that to me is fascinating when a character can be so different yet so recognizable.
Yeah. I hope everybody at home is enjoying this. I hope you have had a chance to learn a little bit. We did facial structure at first, and now we're doing this awesome sketch of the Joker. Hope you learned a little something. I know that friends of mine are like, "Oh, I'm definitely watching that one, the draw along." Matt is awesome for this. Head over to GoFundMe.com. Share the link. Share the love.
Okay. I think I'm about done, actually. I can get into overdrawing, and I've just kind of hit me that I don't think there's much more that I want to add. I want to add a little shape and definition in a couple of places.
Okay.
Like we want to give a little bit more detail to this chin. We've got this big, giant creep show chin. We want to highlight that.
Creep show chin.
So the other thing is, how do I explain this? Where I add detail isn't necessarily always where you would see a line on somebody's face. Mm-hmm. Like this stuff down here, somebody might have a crease like that if they're smiling really big, but that's more, I want your eye to be drawn down there.
Okay.
So it's just kind of making stuff up as I go to a certain extent. Let's darken these lips up. I was actually really nervous about doing this live.
Why?
On this big of a sheet.
Oh.
Well, not just that, but I draw 40 things and like 3 of them aren't garbage.
You don't need any color or makeup to know exactly who that is.
Some shading in there. I need to do something with this hair still a little bit. But what do I want to do? I don't really have one at this point, so that's what I'm saying. I kind of changed the plan on the hair midway through. Here we go. Kind of add some definition. Kind of elongate some of these strokes, and that'll help, I think. This might be where I get into overdrawing. Well, and the other thing is I've gotten into such a habit of drawing digitally. It's been a little bit of, I've been practicing drawing on paper again because it's been a little bit of an adjustment and like using a brush instead of my stylus and stuff.
Right. What is that like? I've never drawn digitally, so.
I like it a lot. I can erase down to a single pixel. So, I mean, I can get like a level of detail and precision. That's I can't even approach on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's just a matter of you get used to the tools that you're using, you know, regardless of what they are. And I'm just the feel of the stylus in my hand. I'm just so used to that.
Right. I'm a finger person with my shading and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like paper, because I do like to put my hands on it.
Right on. So like a smudge shade.
It's difficult though, like doing the smudge shade, especially doing that, and then also doing the or if it's not a smudge, if it's an eraser or whatever you use, like because you can ruin your drawing like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Easily.
Okay, so just what I'm going to do is I'm going to give. So the light source is going to be up along here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to really get into I hair, especially. I feel like I overdraw, where I almost get into drawing every single strand of hair.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to try to do is I want to try to give a glow effect and give finer details that get darker and darker the further down it goes. Like this is going to be curving up like this, so we'll see more darkness on this side, more individual hairs because it's not being washed out the way this is. Okay. What's going to be the curve here? Oh, well, I may have timed this just perfectly because this marker's starting to die on me.
We've got about 9 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, probably like 8. Because the last 2 minutes, I'll probably make some announcements really quick.
Okay. Well, I think I'm pretty much done. I want to figure something out right here. Something isn't right.
Any of the viewers, if you have any questions, or do you have a website or something that people can find you?
Not really anymore.
No.
I pretty much post on Facebook from time to time.
Okay.
And that's about it. I don't do this like as aggressively as I used to.
You're very talented.
Now it's definitely more of a hobby than it used to be.
Maybe we can convince this to happen. Maybe we can get Matt to come back and make this happen again, because this is really dope.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that would be a lot of fun, actually. I enjoy doing stuff like this. Let me sign this guy. So is there anything, what is there anything anybody wants to learn how to draw? Any, I mean, ideally keep it clean, but like any part of the body, any objects, like,
I know we did faces, but I always find faces. Oh, can you do hands really quick?
Yeah.
Really quick too, like a not even like 4-minute hand.
Yep. Zero 3.
Because I think hands are. I don't know, like whoever you are as an artist, I don't care who you are. Hands were the hardest thing, period, that you had to learn how to draw, period. Hands are difficult.
Okay. Here's the trick to hands.
Hand tutorial, and then we're going to wrap things up for guys.
Okay. A lopsided pentagon. Let's bring this down further. So you get a lopsided pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So those are going to be your first knuckles. You're going to go up in the same pattern, same curve pattern. Okay. And then you have your fingers. And the neat thing about this, doing it like this, is it can give you incredible dexterity on your fingers. So let me use something like this. Isn't going to be very good for this example. So let me think for a second about what it would actually look like. No. Okay. So I think I screwed this up. No, I didn't. Okay. So let's say you're pressing down on something. Your fingertips are going to kind of bend backwards. And so like doing it like this lets you, I don't know if that example makes sense. So like this would be your thumb here, your other knuckle, your other knuckle. So this would be like you're pushing down on something and your fingers are bending backwards. So doing those dots and then the lines for the bones of the finger kind of lets you, actually, you know what? Let me grab something. So like on the Spider-Man, let me see can you see that at all?
Yeah.
Let me bring it over here. So like the way his fingers are pressed backwards as he's pressing down on it on the ground. That's what that allows you to do. So I don't know if that helps at all with hands.
Okay. So I guess we're at that point. So we have like 2 or 3 minutes before we go into the next segment. So literally, so tell us something about how you got into drawing, where you started.
Well, I've just drawn my entire life. Really one of my biggest inspirations, like where I really got into comic books, was I remember I picked up a back issue and it was X-Men number 15. And I remember the crossover and I remember the issue is the Executioner song. And I knew who some of the characters were from the cartoon show, but then it had like Cable and Cannonball and Bishop and Apocalypse. And I was like, who is Feral? Who is, who are the Dark Riders? I need to learn all about that stuff. And it was Andy Kubert's art. That's the guy that drew the book at the time. I just fell in love with the way that he drew. And I would just sit all day long and try to copy every panel that he drew over and over and over and over and over again. So that's probably really where I learned more than anything else.
Awesome. Well, Matt, you're awesome. That was awesome. This is a beautiful piece of work. Hopefully you can come back and do this. I don't know. A lot of these panelists, not panelists, a lot of the people who are doing these segments today, they're like, oh, I would love to come back and do this again. So maybe it can happen more than once. But this
yeah, absolutely. This is fun.
You're super talented, and I appreciate you loaning your talents to our 24-hour live stream. To everyone watching, so this is how it's going to happen. This stream will close down after we're going to play some commercials for you, some ads from the people sponsoring this event. And we're also going to be showing you, it's somewhere in there, you'll see a little clip from the cast of Flirting with Destiny, which is the point of us doing this whole 24-hour live stream. We're raising money so that we can film Flirting with Destiny this summer. and that's going to take some funds. So the goal for today is $1,000. The goal for the entire GoFundMe is $5,000. So if you'd like to donate, whether it's $5, whether it's by just sharing the stream or by sharing the link to the GoFundMe, you can head over to gofundme.com/f/flirtingwdestiny. You can donate there. You can read up on the process, where we are in our process, and learn a little bit about the story behind Flirting with Destiny, the cast, the crew, how we all got together. I really appreciate everyone being here. You guys are awesome. Matt, do you have anything to say in parting?
No, just thanks for watching. This is a lot of fun. I definitely would do this again. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thanks for being here. So this stream, after the 10 minutes, after we're going to take like a 10-minute break, we'll do some ads. After that, we're going to have another stream called Late Night with Liz, where we're going to play some trivia, some live games, do some reading of advice column stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing that from 3 to 6. Come hang out with us there. As soon as this stream shuts down, that one will be starting up. If you're on Twitch, just stay logged into the channel. If you're not on Twitch, you'll have to click onto a new video, but I'll be posting it shortly. If you're watching us on YouTube, the link is already there. You just click to that video, the Late Night with Liz video. If you're watching us at home, do that as well. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
All right, night.
Standing in the streets, probably wishing that we could meet, but I just stare and frown and feel the world goes round and hear them cry, but I don't move away. I guess I'll save it for another day. I see a brother, strong and full of heart, and
Sorry about that. That's my fault.
I see them standing in the streets, probably wishing that we could meet, but I just stare and frown and feel the world goes round and hear them cry, but I don't move away. I guess I'll save it for another day. I see a brother, strong and full of heart, and he's meant to go far, but he's scared of driving in his car, cause he might get pulled over.
Hi, I'm Jessalyn Pease Garrett, author of Timeless, The Law of the Coven, my new book that came out August 1st of this year. This is the second in the Timeless series, and it features a teenage witch. She's gonna hone her magical abilities, and we're gonna pit her against a dark coven of witches. So I hope you enjoy this book as much as I enjoyed writing it. Timeless, The Law of the Coven is available online from all your favorite retailers. Thanks, guys.
Hello! I am Glorp. Yes! I am Glorp. I have a riddle for you. Do you want to hear it? I'm going to tell you the riddle now. On Tuesday at 8 p.m. We D&D is Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. On Twitch at the Art Hard Studios channel. I am Glorp. Glorp has said all.
Julian's supposed to be
I am Glorp.
doing this with us.
We are counting down the days to closing out the beautiful Frasier. And one of the things that I really love about our projects, because we named them, we built character, they're almost like your little baby, and you're ready to present it to the world. And one of the things we look at the little details, and then we start to nitpick, and then before you know it, a few weeks turns into a few months, and before you know it, your project is prolonged more than you thought, just for the little details. But one of the things you have to do is just breathe, relax, and trust the process. Know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be and you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And as long as you stay in committed action each day, you will ultimately get to completion. These things and more, we help investors get their start in real estate investing. So contact us, visit us at it'sjessicamyers.com to learn how you can get your start today.
I'm excited to be in a show with them finally.
Oh wow, it has been a while. For Color Girls was the last show we were all. That was
the first show
10 years ago.
Yes.
Oh no, don't delete that out.
That was pre Woe Nelly Media, but it was in fact a Duryea Rashad production.
Yes.
So there
It's
you
the
go.
first time we did a show
I
together.
know.
Babies.
We were babies, so we'll really see how much we've grown. That'd be great. Yeah, I love it.
So here we are, so excited. Great.
Hey everybody, my name's Chris.
I'm Duryea.
I'm Ricky Z.
Justin.
And Julian.
Have you heard about Anchor.fm? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. First off, it's free.
Oh, I love free, especially when we're talking creation tools that allow you to record and edit right from your phone and computer. And Anchor will actually distribute your podcast for you. So as soon as you're finished recording, you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other platforms.
And you can make money off of your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's basically a one-stop shop for everything you need. So head on over to anchor.fm and download the mobile app now. And make sure you come back and geek out with us.
What am I actually telling my body? And the things that our body needs to survive, you can't weigh it down with all that junk, all the chips, cookies, cakes, and pies. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. And I know for me, that's my struggle. My weakness is sweets. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I had already planned when I got this video to make a run to Del Taco real quick and get one of them sweet cheesecake bites. Let me tell y'all something. Them things will make you slap your mama. They're so good. Lord have mercy. Is that drool? That done got me drooling.
Hi, this is Cody from Cody Paul Media. Thank you for joining me. Anybody can record a video, but the question is, how do you make that video stand out among the rest? A quick animated video like this one can change things around for your company, so go to codypaulmedia.com and get those needs met today. See you later.